Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our very first look at the Tier 6 light German cruiser, the Munich. Now I know it's spelled München, but I'm fairly confident that my German folks will agree with me that that is Munich. Just based on like actuality, like that's how they spell Munich for their city in Germany, and so I just assumed that that's what it is. So yeah, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'm fairly confident this is the Munich. So with that being said, let's get to our commander. We're using Karl von Moeller. We have Nikolai Kuznetsov and Norman Scott as our commander inspirations. We are running Beyond Range, Igniter, Velocious, and Fixated. Now, I'm not gonna lie, after playing this first game, I'm probably punching back over here into the punch through, and I'll go over that in a moment. So, just as a heads up, this is my very first game in this ship. It ends up being a very good game, and it allows me to see pretty well what this ship is capable of. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Alright, so, and just for the record, I will be picking this one up. This one is fantastic. I know you guys come here for the fun, right? So I just be real with you right out the gate. So we've got Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, and we are running Concealment System Mod on this bad boy. Loadout. We are running the Community Contributor flag and the camo that comes with it. Survivability, you got 30,000 hit points, and you have 10% torpedo damage reduction. Artillery, you have 8 150mm 55 caliber guns, which are absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Reload time, 5 seconds. 180-degree turn time is 20 seconds. HE shell damage is 1,700 with an 11% chance to set fires with our current build. We have AP shell maximum damage of 4,050, which is really high for a 150mm gun, I believe. Like, that's almost 203mm gun damage, I believe. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's a little bit high. I'm going by memory, guys, so if I'm wrong, leave it down in the comments below. Secondaries, 105mm guns, reach out to 5.2, reload 3.3 with an 8% chance to set fires. Torpedoes, you've got 8 of them, a quad launcher on either side of the ship, 533mm. They reload in 90 seconds, so a minute and a half. The maximum damage is 13,700, so a little on the weak side, and they only have a 6-kilometer range. They're not particularly fast either. Maneuverability, 37.5 knots. That is fantastic. Turning circle of 690, not necessarily fantastic, but our rudder shift is 6.6 with our build, so it's not terrible. Concealment, 10.8 kilometers. Again, not amazing, but not bad. Anything under 11 for a cruiser is definitely going to be okay. 6.8 by air, and 2 guaranteed detectability, and 6.1 kilometer smoke. So yeah, it's pretty good all the way around. Armor is where this ship comes into its own. Now, it's got very good belt armor, okay? It's, what, 50mm of belt? But the bow and stern armor, 16mm, you're going to be overmatched and obliterated, so be careful. Anything over 8-inch guns can overmatch your bow and stern. If we look at our auxiliary room armor here and go to the side plating, we have 20 to 50. Now, 20mm is from halfway to the deck and up to the deck, and the 50mm is right at the belt, which is actually not bad. If you're angling and they shoot your waterline, you can ricochet a lot of things, even 16-inch guns, like no problem, off the side of this thing, if you're angled. Now, if they hit high, they're going to be doing some damage to you. If they penetrate, they are going to obliterate you. Here's why. It's got a very interesting superstructure, or not superstructure, citadel arrangement. You can see it's got a very funky shape to it. I kind of like it. But it does extend above the waterline, especially at the center of the ship, where it goes almost halfway to the deck. And that is the biggest problem with this ship. If anything gets good armor-piercing shots on the broadside of you, you are going to die. Just keep that in mind. Overview. Reloader, above average main battery reload speed. Extended sonar. That's the one thing we didn't talk about. German sonar is fantastic for detection of ships. 5.4 kilometers ship detection in this thing. So very, very good sonar. But that's with most of the Germans anyway. They have very good sonars. Modest guns. The ship is armed with low caliber main battery guns. That is true. And the Munich, a light cruiser designed, developed. That's hard to say back to back. Designed, developed. Prior to the outbreak of World War II, the ship was notably different from the Königsberg class and cruiser Nürnberg in terms of her artillery armament and layout with superior speed. She was designed in 1938, but she wasn't actually built. So, yeah, it looks like a very nice cruiser. I'm not gonna lie, it is a pretty sexy ship. I do like the camo quite a bit. It's just a good ship. There's nothing wrong with this ship other than it is, if you go broadside, you deserve what you get. So we'll keep that in mind. But other than that, this thing is fantastic. So, with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so you guys have already heard my opinion on the ship as far as how good I think this ship actually is. It is a great ship. If you enjoyed the Königsberg or the Nürnberg at the low tiers, you're going to enjoy this ship. I promise you. It is fantastic. And, surprisingly, very good AP. Now remember, in this match that you're about to see, I did not have punch-through on, okay? Punch-through probably makes this ship 10 times better. But I wasn't expecting the AP to be that good. Except one thing, I forgot how good the light cruiser AP from the Nürnbergs and the Königsbergs were. Like, they are fantastic. Rivaled only by the Americans, I think, for their tier, for light cruisers, okay? But that being said, you guys are going to showcase, we are bottom tier, we're at a tier 6, it's a tier 7 lobby, and we are going to absolutely go ham on this team. Now, you're going to see a lot of fire starting trying early, and you're going to see why fire starting I don't think is your best option all the time. Now, trying to set fires is never a bad thing, right? So, you get them to burn their damage cons, and you can get damage over time, potentially. But you'll see that because we don't have EOP as a German, we end up with shattering a lot of shells instead of trying to get damage and fires. So the high explosive, I think, is actually going to be a secondary option in this. The AP is that good. I'm not throwing it out there just to say, you know, you guys should try this because I'm an AP guy. No, I'm not joking. The AP is very, very good. And just like your Clevelands and your American light cruisers, like, you cannot sleep on the AP of this. Now, we're going to shoot at this Gneisno right off the bat. Again, we are doing 37 knots right now. Yeah, almost 38 knots. And we are at long range. If he fires at us, big deal, we'll just dodge. It's not that difficult. You want to try to keep your distance early in a match when more people can shoot at you. But do not hesitate to close the distance if you get a chance to catch people, because you're so quick you can actually move around kind of like a destroyer. Now, you're not as sneaky as a destroyer, but it'll allow you to get some crossfires on people that are disgusting. And you'll get to showcase that in this match. And that's what I always try to do with these ship videos, these Meet the Ships, is I try to showcase the best and the worst of the ship. So you're going to see the best and the worst that this ship has to offer in my very first game. Because I'll be honest with you, it caught me off guard. I was not expecting a whole lot. I figured, you know, another German cruiser. I knew kind of what to expect, but this thing's fantastic. I like it more than I do the Hipper. I'll be real honest with you. And it's a billion times better than the York, or at least back when I played the York, back when it was garbage. But you can see this Fiji's about to just get absolutely wrecked, and pop goes the weasel. That's not going to be the last devastating strike that a Massachusetts ends up with in this match. Remember about the American 16-inch 45 caliber guns. They are very, very good at deleting cruisers. But anyway, so we're going to initially get settled in and do our over-the-island HE spamming that everybody knows and loves. And it's going to take a little while to develop. But because these battleships have absolutely zero testicular fortitude, that's an old school word. If you guys know where that came from, I salute you. Put it down in the comments below, I'll pin you. How about that? If you know where I got the term testicular fortitude from, I will pin you. The first person, okay? I can't pin everybody that comes up with it, but the first person that answers correctly, I will pin. All right, so with that being said, now we're kind of getting close to being able to shoot this Iowa. We take a shot at the Iowa right off the bat, and he's actually sailing away from the island and gets absolutely wrecked. So many people just absolutely losing all of their health in this match. It's fantastic. But this Iowa's going to manage to survive, and he is going to go full, like, Jean Bart mode. He's just going to run and kite and hope that nobody touches him. And look at that AP! I tested the AP. Sure, the Iowa has an amazing superstructure that just absolutely begs to be just ripped apart by armor piercing, especially from this thing, apparently. But I was not expecting that. And you can see as he gives up the angle, he goes back to kiting away. We switch back to the HE so we can try to burn him down. But this is what I'm talking about with the shatters and stuff. We're trying to hit the top of his ship and the superstructure and whatnot to get some damage, but also get fires. And we're getting some damage here and there, but the AP gives you way more damage per salvo usually if you get some good penetrations. Now we go back to switching over to the Gneisno, leaving the Iowa to his thing out there. We do get another hit on the Iowa, but we're just going to switch back and forth, kind of keep both of these guys honest. And you can see Gneisno once again turning away. He's going to try to run. The Chappie, surprisingly, is hiding behind the island up here, and he is not able to shoot at anything. So he's not really helping his team at all. And he's going to kind of run out of friends here as the battleships try to disengage. The Gneisno is doing his best to get out of there. He's overextended. He's broadside to everybody. He's got to avoid the island. He's not long for this world. So we are going to use our amazing speed and closure ability to push up. Because I have a feeling with that battleship right there to my right, the furthest out to the right battleship, the one that's furthest forward right now, is actually, it's a Massachusetts, and he's actually in danger of getting torped by the Chappie. I had this feeling. Okay, call it a hunch, but I had a good feeling that this Chappie was going to come out and jump on this Massachusetts. Now, obviously, Massachusetts should be able to remove him from the existence, especially with two Massachusetts right here waiting to obliterate this man for coming around the corner. But they're not the only ones waiting for him. I go ahead, switch to the armor piercing, and I am getting ready to show this guy just how nasty this armor piercing can be. And you can see, I go ahead, I cover my battleships with torpedoes just in case that he comes out. And sure enough, he's coming. He wants some. He wants some of these Massachusetts. He's like, I can take it. But he wasn't expecting that I'm in a perfect position for a crossfire. So while he bow tanks them, I'm going to have the nastiest angle on the planet. Now, he shoots me with HE, which is hilarious. If he'd have loaded AP, I'm dead. But he didn't. And we are going to rip him apart with two citadels and some good penetrations. He gets finished off by our Chappie, who is right there out on the outside of the map, right on outside of our battleships. But we managed to finish off the Chappie pretty quickly with two citadels. And now we're going to go ahead and start shooting at these battleships. Now, we've got to swing outside this big island to my left, so we've got to, like, get out here into the open water, and we've got to be careful. Now, this Gneisno is not long for this world. He's taken all of the damage in this one. So we're going to keep trying to hit this man with some AP and get some penetrations. You can see when you do get those hits into the superstructure and deck, it is very good. You just got to hit them. And you don't want to be bouncing off the side armor. You want to be hitting up into that deck armor if preferable. And 5,300 damage right there. We found a weak spot, dang it. We found a weak spot. Now this Iowa, like I said, channels his inner Jean Bart. He is running for his life. He's got two Massachusetts, a Chappie, and me. Plus, there's somebody else back in the back that I have no idea what he is. But we are all closing on him. Now, obviously, our guys are staying back to capture the base. That's a good thing, which is why I'm pushing up. Now, this guy shoots at me. I turn in, and we narrowly avoid getting obliterated there. It's very, very close at this point to whether or not he's going to obliterate me. We're only 11 kilometers from the man, okay? That is angry armor piercing waiting to dev strike me if I'm not careful. And you can see I'm struggling to find where I need to aim to get those consistent penetrations into the superstructure. And then every time I get a chance to, we're taking hits. Now that was towards the rear of the ship. I wasn't too worried about the citadel potential of those. So we just stay broadside, wait for it to, you know, pass basically. Now we're going to go ahead, turn away from that Iowa. He's disengaging, he's kiting. The only reason we would keep going for him is because we're a potato. So we're going to cut back and try to help the rest of our team. Now, already I'm sizing up this Massachusetts who's closest to me. He is asking to be absolutely rushed. Okay, this guy is literally begging for it at this point. And you can see I'm trying to debate which side of the island I want to go to, and that's when the Cleveland kind of makes the choice for me. The Cleveland is dangerous. Everybody knows it. I do like my odds against the Cleveland because I have very good armor piercing, and I feel like it would be using HE initially, and I feel like I would have a pretty good shot against that Cleveland. But like I said, we're about to find out. As I'm watching this Massachusetts start to try to come forward, I'm going to launch my torpedoes, hoping that he does. I'm hoping that he comes out, because I will be able to get around the corner and he will eat my torpedoes, so I should be relatively safe there. We go ahead, we launch the torps, and that's when we get detected by the Cleveland on my left. And so it's time to start shooting this Cleveland. Watch this AP versus this Cleveland. All right, we're 10 kilometers. All right, this isn't the best angle to shoot from, but we're getting pretty good angles, and look at we just wreck him. It's not even close. Like, he's not looking at us. He's disrespecting us, basically. He's like, I ain't worried about that ship. You should be, Sunshine. You should be. Because we got a similar fire rate to you. We don't have as many guns as you do, but we can absolutely wreck your world if you give us the opportunity. Now, obviously, we're not alone. There is a Vladivostok right there behind us coming through the center after they captured A. We're going to try to shoot the Cleveland some more. And that Vladdy, I believe, is going to absolutely wreck him any moment. And he is going to go down. You can see our Z-23. There it is. Vladdy just cleans him up. Dude had about a third of his health left. Not anymore. Now, right now I am salivating, okay? I know that 1v1ing a Massachusetts in a light cruiser is a terrible idea. However, there are some things that I do because I think that I can catch somebody off guard and win, okay? I'm figuring his guns are not going to be facing me initially. So I think that I should be able to get around the corner, get a torp strike off of this side, flip around, and torp him with the other side. And we should be able to kill him before he can dev strike us. Because we know a dev strike is coming, alright? We already know that if we screw this up, this man is going to dev strike us. There's nothing we can do about it. He overmatches our bow, and our our Citadel is just begging for it. Now, we clearly see him speeding back up. He's trying to change direction, so we are going to try to torp the man, knowing that that's a possibility. He gets the rear guns out on us, and honestly, actually he hasn't shot the rear guns yet. We're using the AP right now, trying to get some good superstructure hits, and we're also trying to turn the ship, and we get one torpedo, two torpedoes, and 2 misses, unfortunately. He kept reversing. If he had went any other way, he's a dead man. But because he kept reversing, that means that this is not going to be enough to kill him. And what's our booby prize? Well, that 50% torpedo reduction coming in real handy for the Massachusetts, leaving him with just enough to get away. In true Spartan fashion, am I right? Like, just enough. We almost perfectly played that. If we had had one more torpedo hit, if we had shot him with the guns one more time, like, that man's a goner. But no, he manages to survive with just enough and get that heel off to give him a little bit more health. Now, our Vladdy's pushing up on him, so he's not long for this world, but we did pretty well. Very first game out, 120,000 damage, showcasing the strength and the weakness of this ship. And in my personal opinion, it is a very good light cruiser. I enjoy it quite a bit. So, yeah, I expect other people will enjoy it as well. There are much better light cruiser players than I am, so I'm sure you guys will find this thing fantastic. But if you're using it solely as a fire starter, you're really undercutting its potential, in my opinion. So keep that in mind. It's got fantastic AP. If you get a chance to use that AP, use it. You will not regret it. But, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did like it, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I know like I think it's 46% of you guys haven't subscribed, so If you feel like being a boss, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And definitely share the videos for me. You guys know that I have a goal right now of hitting 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's going to be a rough road. That's a high goal to set. Got to average at least 1,200 subs per month. And so I'm up for the challenge if you guys are, but I'm going to need your help. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. We ended up with, what was it, 120,000 damage? Come on, Spartan. Skip it. There we go. 120,000 damage, 6 torpedo hits, top of the leaderboard, 2,400 base XP. Not too shabby. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.